Hi everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about my setup for 2025. I kind of went over it a little bit in my first video, but I didn't have a solid plan and I hadn't really sat down and decorated yet. So I thought we would do a whole video just dedicated on my setup and how I've decorated them and how I plan to use these two Hobonichi journals. I did actually plan to decorate the cousin in video, but I had a really bad day the other week and kind of just needed to sit down with it and decorate it on my own. And I was like, it'll be okay. I can do a video and show off all the decorations I did afterwards. And it turned out really good, and I am kind of glad that I did it off camera just so I could play around with a bunch of my materials and stickers that I had. And I'm really happy with it. So I'm excited to show you how it turned out. I do think we will start with the Hobonichi weeks just because I'm still a little unsure on how I 100% plan to use this and if I will be using it a bunch in 2025. So we're going to talk it out. I'm going to show you kind of the planning I did, and I would love to hear any thoughts if you all have any. So let's just hop right in. Okay, so for the Hobonichi weeks, I did decorate this on a shorts on YouTube. I also did a little TikTok video where I put stickers on it and did all that. So if you would like to see that, you can go check it out. But I just popped some stickers on it. We went for a typical spooky vibe. And I'm really proud of how it turned out. I put this one on a little bit later. This one isn't in the video. And I really like it. I think it adds some color to the back and brings in the color from the apple. And I think it's really cute because I plan on using this as my media/hobby journal. So this just really leans into that with all of the hyperfixations that I'm sure will happen in 2025. So that's the outside. On the inside, I played around with some stickers that I had. This was from a thank you card, and I just loved the handwriting and thought it would be really cute to put in. This is just a bookmark that I've slid in here with some freebie stickers. And I'm really proud with how this turned out. I think it's super cute. And I did a similar kind of vibe in my cousin that I will show you. So this will be my first year using any Hobonichi product, much less like diving into planner journaling. So I'm not gonna lie, I haven't like fully sat down, planned out every single aspect. I'm kind of just going to let it morph as it does throughout the year. So I don't have any huge plans for how I will be using this page, if I even will. And as you can see, I've covered up this page. This was the shows last year, 2024, the year before, and I had no plan on using that. And I got this idea from MEB on YouTube and Instagram as well. In their last video, they made mood boards like this and covered up certain pages, and I've done it to 2 more pages throughout the book that I'll show you. But I just thought it was such a cute idea. I thought it was really fun, specifically for this journal, because this will be my media hobby journal. So I included my current hyperfixation, which is Kate Bush. I absolutely adore her. So I did some mood boards, and I did them kind of seasonally because I'm very much a seasonal girly, if that makes sense. So very much live with the seasons. So I started off in winter, and I'll just go ahead and show you while we're on the topic. Start off in winter. The middle one is more of like an autumn vibe, and I love this one. And then the last one, which I fought putting this down, so it looks a little wonky, but this is more of like summer vibes for me. It's still dark, but summer is dark vibes for me. All year is dark vibes for me. And they all have Kate Bush because I just adore her. And she's the kind of energy I want to go into 2025 with. Just the whimsy, gothic vibes. So, how I plan to use this. I did a little spread in my commonplacing field notes, just thinking out thinking out my thoughts, brain dumping, trying to plan how I want to use my weeks. This is just me talking about ginger snaps, so you can ignore that, but it's cute. Here, I kind of sat down and just brain dumped ideas. So for the monthly section, I was thinking I could track upcoming book, movie, music, game releases, things like that. I can track the duration of me reading books. In the calendar section, mark when I buy things for my hobbies, so like stickers, any journaling supplies, any books, things like that. And then at the bottom, I could do a song and book quote of the month. And I added track hyperfixation durations. So we'll see how that turns out. For the weekly, I put daily writing about what I'm reading, watching, or listening to, and gaming. I've gotten really back into gaming a lot this year. Can write when I order things for hobbies or when packages arrive, and I can include the thank you cards and things like that. And then on the side, I could do review and collages, little playlist, and just expand with my creativity on my current hobbies and media tracking and things like that. So I've kind of set up the month of December and the first week in here, which starts next week, and I'm so excited. But just to kind of play around with it, I'm not the biggest fan of this decoration, and it will, of course, morph throughout the year as I do this more. I think I will find my rhythm, and I'm going to allow myself to do that. I'm not going to be hard on myself. But these are kind of the setups that I have so far. So Nosferatu comes out on Christmas, which I am so excited for. If anyone else is excited, please leave a comment. I am like losing my mind over it. I keep seeing everyone talking about it online, and I'm just foaming at the mouth to get my hands on this movie. Christmas with Sabrina Carpenter comes out on the 6th, which I'm also so excited for. I love Sabrina. And then Inkmas is a little video series I will be doing. So it's really blank right now, which is kind of my worry, is am I going to have enough stuff to fill this book with? I've been in a really bad reading slump. So the beginning of 2024, I was reading a ton. And starting in September, I haven't really read anything. I'm kind of doing audiobooks every now and then, but I've really been in a huge slump. So I don't even really have books to fill this with. So I am a little worried on how full I'm going to be able to do this, especially when we get to the weeklies. I'm just kind of like, what am I going to talk about daily? I guess I could talk about the music I was listening to that day, if I was reading anything, if I played anything, but then my thought goes to, okay, what will I write about in my cousin? Because I don't do much. I'm very much a homebody. So my day does consist of watching, listening, reading, hobbies, and things like that. So I'm like, okay, if I have this whole journal for that, my cousin would pretty much just become, this is the work I did today. This is what I did with my animal. Like, I feel like I couldn't get creative with it, if that makes sense. And I don't want to have two journals where I'm just repeating the same information. So like, I don't want to do a playlist here and then be like, oh, I don't have anything to write about, or I want to put it in my cousin and just repeat the same playlist, if that makes sense. That is my main worry that I'm having right now. And I should have done that, preface this before. I didn't buy this week's to be a hobby journal. I bought it thinking that this would be perfect for me next year. But as I journaled more and got more into it, I realized that I would need way more space. And the cousin ended up being the perfect, I hope, the perfect match for that need. And so I kind of was just left with this empty journal, and I was like, oh crap, how am I going to use it in 2025? And then I saw Bronte Plans had a reading/hobby journal, and I kind of morphed it into media, hobbies, things like that. So I'm trying to be kind with myself and be like, this is my first year journaling. It is okay if I don't end up using this one. But I also do really want to use it because I really like the format of the weeks. I don't know. There's just a lot of contradicting thoughts that I have. I was really excited for it, and then I kind of sat down and started thinking more and was like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work. So if anyone has any suggestions, any thoughts, I would love to hear it. But I'm also just kind of like, let's just see how it goes. I start next week, next Monday. Let's see how it plays out. We'll play around with it. And if I don't end up using it, I don't end up using it. And it's okay. And we're not going to be angry at ourselves. We're going to 2025 being kind to ourselves. Oh, and for the blank pages in the back, the note pages, it would just be for like extra if I had like a hardcore hyperfixation on a book or a song and I didn't have enough space in the weekly spreads, I could come back here and do a bigger spread or a mood board, things like that. So, and that's when I'm kind of like, this would be a good use, because what if I run out of space in my cousin? I don't know. We'll just have to see. And I'd love to hear your suggestions, but that is the weeks. It is up in the air right now. I'm really hoping I can find a reason to use it. We shall see. And I love how I decorated it. Like, it's so cute. I need to find a reason to use it. But yeah, that's it for this one. Let's move on to my cousin. So this was a kind of recent buy and decision. I think it was in late September that I decided a cousin would probably be best for me for the new year. I'm doing the black and blue cover, which I hate this blue. I'm looking for a new cover, but I don't know. It's not a main priority right now. That blue does drive me absolutely bonkers though. But the black outside cover with a cover and then another cover on my actual Hobonichi, because I decorated the crap out of it and so it needed some extra security. But I have these stickers by MEB. Oh, nope, that's Lainey. I'll put them on the screen or in the description. That's Lainey. I believe I'm a member of their Patreon. That's MEB. And I always mess up this shop. Lantern Print Co., I think. I just love the vibe. This little garlic girl with these platform sneakers, she just speaks to me. I love it. And this is also Lainey, one of their art prints from their Patreon. So this was just a rough decoration. I threw in some stickers that I had, and I thought the colors went well, and I liked the vibe. But when we go in, this is also, this is me just playing around still over here, but I have some stickers. This is a bookmark that I've just stuck in, and I'm sure a lot more will get added as the year goes on. But main thing is the cover of this bad boy. I am so incredibly proud of how this turned out. I had a general idea. I knew that I wanted to use this one because I just love this possum screaming into the sky. It's very V vibes. And just love him. So I knew this one. I knew I wanted to use this one, and I knew I wanted to use this pink. What is it called? A flail? I always forget. Whatever, this thing. And I had a big sticky shop order come in the day that I sat down to decorate this, and it came with these, and I kind of was like, ooh, I can go spooky vibes with this. And I just started putting stuff down, and it came together perfectly, and I'm so happy with it. And I am not a pink girly. Like I have very little things that are pink. I don't really use pink. And I'm really surprised because I have so many pink items popping up. Like this is kind of pinky. There's pink in here, there's pink throughout. And I was talking to my friend, it feels like it has kind of made its own personality, which I think is so funny and I love it. And like, it just feels like this journal has a personality now because it feels a little bit separate from me, and it feels like it chose these stickers. And I know that's silly, but it makes me feel a little bit more attached to the journal. And I'm probably gonna have to come up with a name for it because that's just how my brain works. But she's definitely a she, and she's badass, and we love her, and I can't wait to start using her. As we move in on this first page, since I did cover up the front, and I used, I think this was actually a paper bag. Yeah, it was, that I cut up and I taped it to it. because that yellow color was rough. And the yellow with the blue, I know for some people that is, like the colorful people, they love it, but I'm very much a neutral toned black, dark vibes. It was too much for my brain. Too many sensories. So I covered it with the brown paper bag. I folded it over just to create a crisp edge and taped it with one of my favorite washi tapes. And I went in with some more decoration. I wrote this out because I covered up the front. So I wanted to know that this was the January to June for 2025. I have a key over here. I am loosely planning to use a key dot system. So I have brain dump, health, special interest. I tried to keep it small. I didn't want to go too detailed just because I feel like that would get confusing for me. So we kept it pretty broad, and a lot of things can go under these sections. I also plan on doing some mood tracking, but very loosely, nothing too stressful. And I thought it would be fun to do it with moon phases. Once I set it out, I was like, this is a little bit confusing, but I think I'll get used to it. And now that I've made this key, I think it'll work. But yeah, so we have dot key, mood tracking key, and then just some spooky vibes. Because this is January to June, I did want to give it a little bit of a spring beginning of summer vibe. So I put some florals in, kept it still dark, obviously. But I think it turned out really cute, and I really like it, and I'm really proud of it. I did these two, and I was just like, wow, those turned out really good. Really proud. So let's go into how I've kind of, yet again, planned out in my field notes how I want to use the cousin. I have found that this has really helped my brain. I blocked off this page just because it was therapy talk, and y'all don't want to see that, and it was a little personal, so we're just gonna blip. There's a little fuzzy. So yeah, I have found that sitting down and just pouring out my thoughts in kind of a list system has really helped me, because I was stressing about how I wanted to format the cousin, and I still haven't done a full in-deep plan. This is just kind of a broad layout, some ideas of things that I want to implement. I think if I went too strict with it, it would stress me out even more. I like this broad idea so that I can morph it as I go, and I'm sure, I know I will find a rhythm as we start using it more in 2025. So for the monthlies, I plan to keep track of appointments, plans, work stuff. I can put favorite memory of the month on bottom or side, and I'll show that once we flip into it. And quote of the month, that can be from Tumblr, from reading something I heard or saw, just a quote of the month. I feel like that would be really nice to have. For my weeklies, we're going to do top half is lists for the day, mostly and probably for work or just like chores I need to do around the house. If I have appointments that day, like nail appointments, vet appointments, doctor appointments, things like that. Bottom half is going to be my habit tracker and health tracker. We have a little arrow. And then also track my naps, my nausea, migraines, and anxiety. And then I'm wanting to really get back into tarot in 2025. So I think I want to do a daily tarot spread here as well. And then for my daily, just daily thoughts, any common placing, mood tracking with the stickers, things like that. I'm gonna put some pictures of it. And here is kind of the rough drawing I have. So we'll have to-do list up top, bottom left is going to be habit tracking and health tracking, and then the rest will be tarot, and I'll show you more once we get into that section in the cousin. But I just wanted to show you how I planned it out, just so if it helps you all, because it helped me. Okay, I went ahead and decorated December just to get excited for it. I'm not the most proud of this decoration, and yet again, as we go, I think I will find my rhythm. This is my first time in a Hobonichi, a journaling system like this, so I'm very much a newbie, and we're gonna get our rhythm eventually. And I think that will be something that I really enjoy looking back on, to see how I grew throughout the journal and how I found my rhythm, because that is something that I've noticed a lot with my field notes, is the difference between the first starting pages to my most recent ones is huge. And you can really tell that I've found kind of my style and what I enjoy doing. So I am excited to look back and see that morph throughout the year. But I went ahead and started putting in some dates and kind of how I plan to use this. So like we have doctor appointments, my anniversary, my vet appointment, things like that. I would put quote of the month down here or over here. I kind of left some spaces for that, and then could do favorite memory alongside it or on the other side. We'll figure it out as we go. And I think every month it'll probably be different. So that's kind of an outlook, a little view into how I plan on doing that. And then for the weekly, I just did a little bit just to kind of see what the spacing would look like. So yet again, I'm not sure if this is going to stick, but we have some little habit tracking, health tracking down here. I would want to keep to-do list up here. And I'm not sure if I want to keep it with the time slots that they have. I don't know. We'll play around with it. I probably will. And then down here would kind of be where I do tarot. And I don't necessarily know if it wants to be a daily thing, or maybe I do one tarot spread for the week and I just put it down here. It could be different every week. I'm keeping this very fluid. I'm trying not to give hard rules for this, or I will get really stressed and really overwhelmed. So we're keeping it fluid. We're just giving thoughts, and it's probably going to change and morph throughout the week as my life and things change. What was that? Interesting. Okay. And for the daily pages, I already said just going to do commonplacing, and I'm yet again going to keep that broad. We're going to can journal about the day, can journal about my hyperfixation for the day, do playlists, mood boards, things like that. And I think it's going to be really fun. I have seen a lot of people do like monthly mood boards on the first day of the month, and I really like that, and I would like to implement that as well. I really like mood boards. I think they're fun. And I don't necessarily do mood boards for like how I want the month to go, more like the vibe of how I'm feeling for that month, if that makes sense. I'm really wanting 2025 to be me embracing the vibes and the aesthetic and the good feelings and things like that. So yeah, I'm really excited. Blank pages, yet again, are just going to be filler if I have any notes, if I want to expand on any ideas, things like that. Oh, and there is the 100 page back here. I'll probably do that for books. That's the only idea that I have. Just as I read a book, jot it down here, back here. And I also use Goodreads and things like that, so that would help me. If I miss a day, I could backfile it and things like that. So that's probably what I'll use this for. But I think that's about it. Back here, I have the moon phases stickers. That's MEB that I plan to use for tracking, mood tracking. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really wanting to start in this, like foaming at the mouth to start in this. I don't think I've ever been this excited for a new year, which is fun. It's a new feeling. And it's really exciting that journaling has brought this energy and like the ability to be excited about 2025 and starting the new year. Like I have something to start on the 1st that isn't, like a New Year's resolution of losing weight or starting a exercise routine, things like that. This feels more healthy for me, more exciting for me, and I'm just really, really excited. So yeah, if you have any name ideas for her, I would love to hear them. She's punk rock, girly, femme fatale vibes. So do with that what you will. And then again, I would love to hear any suggestions for the weeks if you have any. We're gonna test it out, and I'm really excited to start it on Monday and just to play around with it. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. super excited. I've been having so much fun with YouTube, and I really appreciate all of the comments, likes, literally anything. It is so appreciated, so thank you. And yeah, I think that's it. So instead of me blabbing, I'm gonna let y'all go. So I will see you next time. I hope you have an amazing day, week, month, whatever. And thank you for watching. Bye.